Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. This is again Justin Avalis, your young BPO manager and entrepreneur. And meron naman tayong bagong video today. At this time, we're gonna talk about on how you could ace your very first initial interview in the call center industry. So sa lahat ng mga interested mag-apply at mga gustong itry kung paano ka ba papasa dito sa BPO industry, make sure to hit like and subscribe and the notification bell on this YouTube channel para like and updated in my videos, and watch towards the end so you can get the tips and also some sample questions on how you could definitely ace this initial interview. So yun na nga guys, we're definitely talking about this stuff na in daw, sabi nila nowadays, na parang before, kapag nakapasok ka sa call center, you're one of those persons na talagang hinahangaan at matatalino. That was like way back 2000s or that decade back. Pero nowadays, it's one of the most in-demand job because customer service is really rampant nowadays, and mas dumadali ang buhay ng tao habang nag-e-evolve at habang patuloy na nagbabago ang panahon. So, bumaba pa rin at the same time, or mas nag-generalize yung standards in terms of coming in to this industry. And to tell you a short story, I've been in this industry ever since 2016, and I can definitely still remember yung pinaka-unang-una kong interview was a BPO in Quezon Avenue. I'm not gonna mention the name, pero it was really such a nerve-wracking interview kasi sobrang panel interview siya and madami kami. We were like, I think 8 or 9 person inside a room, and there's one interviewer, and we talk about a lot of random stuff, and parang ka talagang binibenta mo talaga yung sarili mo during that interview. So, before ako pumasok on this industry, it was really such a chaotic situation for me kasi parang akala ko ganito ka dapat poised, dapat palagi kang present, palagi kang what I mean is mentally present, palagi kang may substance kapag magsalita ka. You know, you really have to be conscious of whatever you're really saying or what grammar is or you're trying to tell. Later on in this video, you would realize that it's not just about that. It takes about a lot of personality and how you really want to be part of the company and how you badly need a job. So, hindi ka lang doon tinitingnan on your basic English or your grammar lapses. Unang-unang question ng mga tao dyan, kailangan ba sobrang galing ko sa English? No, you don't have to. You just have to know basic English. Yun lang yung alam mo. As long as you know how to converse, kung alam mo kung paano makipag-usap in English, that is the fundamental key in order for you to ace it. Now, pagpasok mo, of course, kailangan you are mentally present 100%. Kaya dapat kumain ka bago ka mag-apply for that day. Kasi if without having a breakfast, I don't think it really is it because you have to be mentally present right there. And lagi ka dapat attentive sa sinasabi ng interviewer mo. Whatever you were actually gonna go through on that interview phase, make sure that you are emotionally and mentally prepared. So, eto na nga yung mga questions na tinatanong nila kanina, or usually kapag may magko-comment sa akin, bakit ganun, bakit ganito, bakit ganyan, or kailangan ba ganito, kailangan ganyan. There are really a lot of questions placed in mind. Now, so unang question palagi dyan, tell me more about yourself. Usually or commonly, yan talagang question. Now, never ever tell something na nasa resume mo na. Kasi that's something that the HR or the recruiter could already read habang nag-iintay ka or while they are waiting to call you. They could definitely see that on your resume. You might have a very impressive resume, but it's not gonna speak for you. You're the one who's gonna speak for yourself on your initial interview. So going back to the question, tell me more about yourself. Share something interesting about you and share something or your characteristics that are related to the job that you are applying to. So you could share how you are fit into that and how you are interesting as a person and as a human being and as an employee as well. So, ganito ako usually sumagot ng initial interview. Hi, my name is Justin Avalis. I am a fresh graduate and I am looking forward to apply my skills into this job because I have been part of a student council organization as well when I was in college, where it nurtured my flexible personality, which I think I could definitely use while I'm working with your company. So I think having that kind of skills, we have basic knowledge that I have, that I could apply here. I can definitely use that as a way for me to have a good start in your company and in this job. So you just have to show interest to them, how badly you want it. Or you could also say something like, I love acting, I love singing, I love dancing. So you don't have to necessarily have that kind of accent or to share a lot of things about you, but just the basic things and related things to the job, right? Yun lang naman in that for very, very first question. Secondly, mga magiging next na question nila dyan would be about, what is your expected salary? For example, ako usually hindi ako nagme-mention ng figures dito sa sa portion na to kasi dun pa lang kasi tinitignan how badly you need it or how really you need a job. Lalo na kung bago ka, if it's your first time and you're demanding for something or a figure already, I don't think it's really a good impression to the company. Ako usually, the way how I answer it is that, well, I am the breadwinner of my family, and of course I would be really happy for a great compensation. But as long as there's a just compensation, I am well compensated, I got the money or the salary on time, and I get all of my benefits and statutory benefits, I think I could definitely work with you. Just something like that, no? Pero there are interviewers as well who insist you, lalo na if you are applying not for a CSR position. Kasi sa CSR position or a call center agent position, standardized ang salary dyan usually. Pero kapag kapag you're applying for a position or if you're applying for like team leader or a manager, they based on your previous salary kasi. So if that's something that's being asked on you, you have to really mention it. Or you have to share a proof of your income or your recent proof of income. Pero usually, if it's your first time, that's just the best way how you can really answer it, in my experience. Next, ito yung mga situational questions. Let's say, for example, na-experience ko to on my very, very first interview. Usually, ang question is like, how would you describe rice in a blind person? Ganyan. Or how would you describe orange in a blind person? For example. So, yung mga medyo situational, pero medyo tricky din yung question. So, ito yung mga nakaka-mental block minsan, or you have the tendency na hindi mo siya masagot agad-agad kasi medyo masyadong malalim yung question. So, the way how you would answer it, you just have to sound right and you have to end it strong in order for you to prove that you are knowledgeable enough and you could definitely converse. So, it's the initial interview kasi the purpose of having an initial interview is to know the personality of the applicant and at the same time, how well can you converse? Kasi yun ang very fundamental skill when you want to apply in the BPO industry, lalo na kung voice account yan. So, dun sa mga nakakaalam, voice and chat is different. When you say voice, it's purely phone calls or a blended that you could take phone calls, you could do offline activity at the same time. Then if it's pure chat or purely email, iba naman yun. You just reply to the customer without speaking. Ganyan. So, going back dun sa question natin kanina, siguro the way how you would respond it is like, what are the other portions that you think you could capitalize on? Let's say, for example, paano mo naman ipapaintindi sa isang tao na hindi nakakakita, yung hindi naman niya makikita ever? So, what are the other parts of the senses? Let's say, for example, the person can still smell. Right? The person is just blind. So hey, if for example, if you would like to describe, or hey, you know what, if you wanna, know how orange look like, imagine as if you are smelling the sense of orange. Whenever someone is feeding you orange or sun-kissed, go ahead and try that. So you would be able to know that, okay, if I smell that, that's color orange. That's something like that, in order for you to make the person understand that you could definitely converse and you could make the life easier, because that's one of the most important characteristics as well as a CSR. You are making the customers' lives easier kasi. So, yon, on that kind of context or that kind of situational question na medyo tricky, that's the way how to handle it, siguro. normally, yun yung mga questions natin kapag initial interview. Situational would be like, if for example, you would be on this kind of situation, or if you would be on this, if you will encounter traffic, ganyan, or how long is your travel time from your office to work, ganyan. Can you describe us, how would you travel from your home to work, how long it's gonna take, how does it exactly look like. So how do you make it fun, and how do you converse? Let's say for example, kung ano yung question. Alright, so I leave home usually at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on my previous company. Or when I go to school, I leave at exactly around 5 o'clock in the morning. And then gonna ride a jeep going to Cubao. And then after that, I would have to move to MRT. And then I have to drop in Guadalupe Station, where I would be meeting a lot of persons who are waiting for their turn to get a jeepney one more time, where I would have to get one last ride going here to office. But usually it should only take 30 minutes, but if you are too slow in walking and you don't have that fighting spirit to get your ride immediately, then it's gonna take you 1 hour to 1.5 hours. You know, how could you make it sound natural, fun, as if you are conversing to a regular person or to a normal person? So one big tip as well, before you join into an interview, watch some movies or English movies. Kung hindi ka masyadong mahilig, or just try to grasp like yung mga interview like with Ellen, with Oprah, the way how they ask questions and the way how Americans answer them. Kasi usually Americans because that's also a basic English. The way how they converse. If you would notice, it's not grammatically correct all the time. Pero the way how they converse, the way how they say it, is more natural and more straightforward. Yun. So when it comes to speaking into English, and if it's gonna be on a US campaign or on a US account, yun palagi ang pinaka-easiest way in order for you to have an idea how you would speak, how you would converse during that conversation. Kasi when you have that initial interview, that is your very, very first impression towards the client and towards the interviewer, para makapasa ka dun sa mga next na phase ng interview. So, yeah, those are some tips that I could give to all of you. Make sure to like and subscribe on this YouTube channel. And kung bago ka lang, hit the notification bell as well para like yung updated sa videos ko. So once again, this is Justin Avalos, and see you soon, guys!